that when they held up Moses' hands, they would win. And when Moses couldn't do it, they would be losing. So it's like a picture of Joshua's being sent out. Here's the, take the best men, Joshua, go and fight this battle. And he did his part. And then Moses did his part, where he held up his hands as long as he could. And when he couldn't, then Aaron and the two guys around him had to actually help him. So it is a picture of life together. And it's very interesting because if you look earlier in chapter 2 of Exodus here, it talks about where Moses believed that victory came by fighting. But here in chapter 17, it talks about victory is going to come by prayer. And, I have found in my life, like, every battle's different. And everything I face is different. And I think so much of the time, like when we face hardship, we forget to stop and ask God, like, how am I supposed to handle this one? Like, how am I supposed to pray here? Or how is it, it's battling smart. It's Ephesians 6, actually, where it's kind of amazing to me how many believers don't put their armor on. Like, hello. Like, if God's given us armor, he's given us armor for a reason. It's to protect us. It's to cover us. It's because we're born for war. I mean, we often forget that we are actually born into war. But battling smart is completely different than just battling and wanting to fight everybody. Wanting to fight everybody actually produces just divisiveness. It doesn't help anything, it doesn't help anybody. But battling smart, and that's what's happening here. Moses is realizing, wait a second, this battle is going to be won by prayer. This battle is going to be won by, different than what I thought before. And this is also a picture of the church and the community together, where Moses is modeling here. He's like, we cannot do battle by ourselves. So one of the things that I love about the church is that I'm not alone. I have countless friends around the globe that I love, that I know that pray for me, that support me. There's all kinds of different aspects of that. But what we have as the local church is that we are so, seriously blessed in so many different ways that it's so easy to forget that what we have as the church of this coming together, that there's times to pray together, there's times of that intimacy together, and then there's times that we have to hold each other up. That's the power of, this is the power and the picture of what God is giving to us here, to be reminded that we can only battle alone for so long. You really can't battle alone very well, because the enemy's always trying to isolate us, because if he can isolate us, then we're brilliant. When you're by yourself, you are brilliant. And because you're only listening to yourself. But when we're in community, that's when we really find out who we are. That's why God's called us to himself and to each other, because it's in community that we not only find out who we are, but it's also holding each other's arms up. It's also, hey, when I can't do it, I have other people, doing that for me. And so we're not made to go through life alone. We're not made to battle alone, but we're also not made for victory alone. The things that come through in your life. How many of you ever been to a party and you're the guest of honor and you're throwing it for yourself? It just doesn't make any sense. So there's something about the people that I really value in my life are the people that show up in my battles, because the people that show up in my battles get to be entrusted with my victories. Those are the people that I want there. Those are the people that, man, you showed up. It is easy to show up for a party. And it is easy to show up when everything is working the way you want it to work. But when you show up in somebody's pain and hardship, that's what speaks volumes. And when you show up, even if you don't agree, how many know, the church is not, this is not about agreeing on everything. This is about, I don't even know why we as the church fight so much about agreement, because we can't even in our own homes agree on stuff. We can't even agree on what we're going to have for supper. So why are we arguing on and landing on and actually breaking relationship on things that we probably never will agree on? But that's why the it's not about agreeing on everything. It's about learning to come together, having wisdom, being there for each other. And that's what's happening here.